Hello and welcome to the DeadEndRoad Show, episode 4. I'm Bill. Joining me is Roget.
Yo, howdy, guys.
How's it going? Feels like it's been a really long time since we sat down to do one of these.
Yeah, it's been some
Yeah,
time.
it's been nuts.
Just things going on.
Too many
The
things.
pandemic.
Yeah. just in general, like in the macro sense, and then in the micro sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got murder hornets, so that's a thing, I guess.
That's just terrible. And if you don't know about murder hornets, their sting is very painful.
Yeah, it's like, we already had regular hornets, so yeah.
Yeah, like they're like, when thinking of the name, how can we make hornet sound more crazy? You know what? Frick it. We're going to put murder in front of their name. That'll let people know how bad these guys are.
Yeah, why don't we just call them like clown murder spider hornets or something? Just to
Right.
just like amplify it, just like make it. What's the worst shit we can come up with?
To make it sound as terrifying as
Yep.
possible. No, dude, the crazy thing is, people don't understand. The sting is crazy. There's this guy. He's like, I guess he's a YouTube star, but I more so know him just from seeing his like page on Facebook. His name's Coyote Peterson, and he's a nutcase who likes to let himself get stung by like different variants of wasps, bees, and just bugs that like have toxins. And he just wants to see how painful it is. And I remember watching the video of the murder hornet, and his whole arm went numb. He said, from the pain. Because he'll have like a little set area that he's just chilling at with his like camera guy, and he'll show you it. It's in a little jar, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna grab this now, and he'll have like tweezers to hold it, and then he'll force it onto his arm until it finally stings him. And that's normally whenever he hits the pain zone. I don't know. Me personally, I mean, I guess he's paid now since getting stung by all these things, but that's still just a crazy activity to be a part of. Just find random as poisonous bugs and just like, you know what, sting me.
Well, isn't that like what Steve Irwin would do?
No, the crocodile hunter?
Yeah, he would get like bitten by shit.
Occasionally, but he was more so just about capturing. Like, this dude is literally going out of his way. Like, he's going. His goal is to look for the most painful sting or bite from an insect. And it's just like, dude,
Yeah.
what are you doing? And like he's seen some crazy insects and been stung. Like, even like, you ever see that giant centipede?
I think so. Yeah.
Apparently, they have like a toxin too, and he just let it bite him. I'm like, dude, you're a nutcase. I'm like, I wouldn't even want to touch these things with tweezers. I'm like, just because I just don't like bugs. Hate bugs.
You like blathers.
Bugs are a bane of my existence. Yeah, pretty much, man. I hate. That's why I like the cold. Like, people complain about winter and everything. I'm like, no, I enjoy winter because there's no bugs during the winter.
Yeah.
Really.
So let me ask you: is that just like his screen name, like Coyote Peterson, or is that like his real name?
I think it's just his like screen name, Coyote Peterson.
Yeah. Because if your name was Coyote, I think you gotta be like out of your mind. You know?
Yeah, I feel like you have to do something involved with animals or something if your parents are gonna name you Coyote.
Yeah.
Or your parents were just hippies and they were high off peyote.
Yeah, or you're like actually like, like First People's Tribe or something like that. Like you're actually.
Yeah.
But if you're just like some dude named Coyote, just like rumbling around, you gotta do some crazy shit.
Mm-hmm. You have to earn your name.
Yeah. Man.
That's like just imagine being named so epic, but just being so boring.
Yeah. Like it
underwhelming.
doesn't fit. You can't do that. You gotta like live up to your destiny at that point.
So I guess he did the right thing, if that is his real name. If that's his real name. I don't think it is, but if it is, his parents are probably hippies.
Yeah. I mean, this is probably like a huge win for him, because if you think about it, like the whole quarantine thing, he can't just like, well, I guess he could if it's just him. Just like venturing out and finding weird shit to eat him.
It's normally like it's normally I think there's three of them because he has him, the camera guy, and then there's the guy with the anti
Oh,
venoms.
of course, yeah,
normally.
okay, yeah,
Because he doesn't want to die.
yeah,
I'll give him that. I'm like, at least you're smart about it.
huh?
Because you don't understand some of these things that he just lets take a bite out of them or sting
Yeah,
him. It's like, ugh. Like the one time he had a snapping turtle just bite the crap out of him. It wasn't even like a normal snapping turtle. It was like an alligator snapping turtle. Like, had to be one of those crazy
that'll
ones.
take a chunk out. That'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That reminds me,
Yeah,
like I never liked Bear Grylls, because his stuff
Mhm.
always seems so fake and like produced. And then there was always that rumor, and I don't ever know how true it was, that he was actually like staying in hotels, and he wasn't actually like surviving out in the wilderness or whatever. And so like I always preferred Survival Man, like that guy, or was it Survival Man or Survivor Man? I think it was Survivor Man, that dude, because he like filmed everything himself. And so like on the show, like he had like a bunch of different cameras, and he would set up the shots, and then he would have to like walk basically double the distance, just because he would have to leave the camera and set up the shot where he'd walk, and then he would have to go get the camera again. And so he would like double the work for himself, just because he was on his own and he was filming everything. It could have been fake too, but they at least made it look like it was just him filming everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm almost positive Bear Grylls is a fake. Like, I thought that I was out at like a couple of years ago. That like, yeah, most of these things are fake. He's not really out in the wilderness, willing to die.
Yeah, it was too
He
too
did not
produced.
have to drink his own pee.
Yeah.
He just likes to drink his own pee.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. You know.
I don't know. Like, I know what you mean. Like, there's certain people I like to watch. Like, there was a show on Animal Planet called River Monsters. I generally enjoyed to watch, but that's because he would catch like crazy exotic fish, and it's just like there's no faking that. You know what I mean? Like, he would spend like months in some foreign countries just trying to catch a certain fish, and it's just like he's like, yeah, a lot of this time is just me just sitting here doing nothing, and it's because you can't force the fish to bite the bite.
Right,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? And he's caught some crazy fish.
Yeah, like, because you can't really, unless you deliberately put the fish, in there, you can't really fake catching a fish.
Yeah,
to that extent.
And even then, you can't. Even if you put a fish in an area, it won't even bite. But then again, that's in a pool. Like, this dude's fishing in rivers.
Yeah, if it's a moving body of water, you need to.
You can't fake it. Or he's out in the ocean. Like, the dude caught like a prehistoric shark before.
That's nuts.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And then there was 1 week episode. It was like the one time he did not do a fish. It was like he went to the Amazon to look for an anaconda, and like, which is cool because I like anacondas, and I remember the movie back when I was a kid with Ice Cube.
Yeah,
one of the only black guys to survive a horror movie for one. But but I remember like he eventually found an anaconda, but I'm like, this is kind of lackluster. All you have to just do is just walk around the Amazon. I'm pretty sure where the fish, he doesn't go in the water really.
Yeah,
he just kind of just fishes. And he'll tell like the folklore of the fish and all that type of stuff and the craziness that goes down.
Do you ever see those like early in the morning on some weird channel, like not even ESPN or like just like those weird outdoor life channels with the fishing competitions?
I do remember those growing up.
With those dudes in like their 50s and 60s with these like, with the hat and they got the Bass Pro Shops jacket with all the sponsorships, and they're just out there on a little dinghy just like trying to fish, and they're like complaining to the camera.
Yeah, how do you get that life? They're paid.
It's the weirdest stuff, and it's so boring too because they're just like standing there on these little dinghies. It's just weird.
I guess there's just like a huge fishing like culture.
There totally is, but like,
and it's kind of funny to me because like you'll see dudes on Facebook gonna go fish, gonna go catch some fish, and most of the time they don't catch fish. They're just fishing.
No, I totally get the like leisure aspect of it, where you're just you're out in nature and it's an activity to do. You don't really care if you catch anything or not. It's part of being out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like instead of just standing around in nature, you're like the pretense is that you're doing something.
I mean, as a kid, I would be annoyed because like I'd go fishing and they're like, "All right, we throw the fish back," and I'm like, "No, we're supposed to eat it. This is supposed to be dinner. We don't let these things go."
But like the competitions, it's weird.
Don't get it. I mean, I guess it's interesting whenever it's like they're catching the giant fish, like
right.
You know what I mean? They'll catch like a blue marlin, or something. But even you notice the craziest ones to me, the ones who put their hands in the water and like catch fish that way.
Oh yeah.
No, that takes some cojones. So, like, I'm not putting my arm and just letting a fish swallow it whole.
Have you ever like stood in a river like while tried to cross it?
No, because I can't swim. So it's not it's not a risk worth taking for me.
Yeah, it's pretty like because I used to go fishing with my dad like back whenever that was like his huge hobby, and it's pretty intense like trying to go across a river because you need to like face the water like your two legs, otherwise you'll just get swept up in it,
swept away,
even if it is like pretty low, like just because it's this constantly moving force, and so you have to like basically step sideways the entire time, or you're on your ass. So yeah, like you need like pretty intense leg strength.
To just try and walk through a stream, river.
Yeah, and so like the deeper it is, the more it's just like. And it does take a lot of skill for like fishing itself and like to know like where fish are going to be and spots and things like that.
The thing is, like, the funny thing with rivers and all that type of stuff is like, I mean, I guess if you fish, you just know it's just a constant. Like, there's just it's an ecosystem of random things because there's more than just fish in there. You know what I mean? Like, I have a friend of mine that I used to work with. He told me, he was like, "You want to know why I hate snakes?" I'm like, "Why do you hate snakes?" And he was like, "One day I was fishing on a boat with my grandma, and out of nowhere, because he said he was like 7 or 8, like one of those, like just young, and he says all he sees is something coming towards the boat. He can't tell what it is, and then eventually it gets up to the boat, crawls onto the boat, and it's looking him face to face, and it was like a water snake. And then he said, "I'm just looking at it. I didn't cry or nothing, and then it just bit me." Then I started crying. I'm like, "Oh gosh, why would it? Why? What did you do to anger this snake to make it? You know what? I see that kid on the boat. I'm gonna go there, get on there. I'm gonna bite him."
Man,
like, what was the point? He did nothing wrong. So I understand my friend's fear of snakes. I'm like, you did nothing wrong, and the snake was just like, "Nope, I'm just gonna bite you." You didn't walk up into my face. I walked up into your face and slithered into your face and took a chunk out of you.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically why I don't like dogs. Like, cause
are there any dogs you like?
I was a baby and like I was in like a little like seat and I was like attacked by a dog. So like.
What, really?
Yeah.
See, I never knew that. Okay.
Yeah. So like
you have a legit reason not to like dog. What kind of dog was it?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't remember. I was so little. Like, it was just. Yeah.
I think I have like only one real bad experience with a dog, and it's like one time I was going to church with my grandma, me and my siblings, and I was running ahead, and then out of nowhere, someone's German Shepherd jumped out of the yard.
Jesus.
And it jumped on me and knocked me down, and before it could do anything, my grandma, grandmas always just have to have those like little knickknacks. They just somehow just happen to have them, and my grandma happened to have one of those dog whistles, like the pressed ones, like where, and she like made it run off. Whistle? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes, she was prepared for this situation. For some reason, when I was always with my grandma, there was something going on with animals. Like, I've been chased by ducks while I was with her. For some reason, that's why I don't like ducks. except for Freckles in my Animal Crossing island. But besides that, I'm like, yeah, she just happened to have a dog whistle, and thank God, because who knows, the German Shepherd would have tried taking a bite out of me, but she scared it off, and I was just like, whoa.
Oh my god. See,
But I still kind of like dogs, but it's because I've had dogs, like I've owned dogs.
Yeah, but see, that's
But I'm
why
also big enough now to take a dog if a dog tries me.
that's why in RPGs you always save your items until you need them.
Mm-hmm. My grandma was ready for that moment. She was like,
because
I
at
don't
the
know
right
when
moment,
the dog's gonna come, but I'm ready to fight a dog if it comes at me. And dog whistles work. They do not like it.
and she knew where it was too.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
And it's funny, like, it's those little things that happen to you when you're a kid that you distinctly remember. Like, I distinctively remember that house and yard, and it's been years since I've been over in that area. Like, because they had, like, their fence was covered in bushes.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, like, a grayish blue house.
Yeah.
And, like, and you couldn't see inside the yard because there were bushes, but I remember that dog running through the fence and then just hopping on me.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy, like, the things that we remember that, like... Because even my mom just yesterday pulled out this old computer that she found in a drawer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like it's mini. I don't know if you remember netbooks, but they were like before Chromebooks or anything.
Mm-hmm.
They were just like the mini Windows computers from like 2007-ish.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, she pulls it out and she's like, "Do you remember what the hell this is? Like, whose was what is this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that was Tori's. You got it for her. She didn't like it that much. Then you gave it to Adam, and then you used it for a while." So like, I had the whole history of this computer just in my mind. I was like, "Oh yeah, it ran Windows XP, even though that that was like whenever Windows 7 was around." Like, I had the entire history of this computer in my head, and she's like, "I don't remember this at all." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that was before you had that computer, and then after you had that computer." Like, I had the exact timeline of this little laptop.
Does it still work?
It actually did. Yeah, it was. We plugged it in because she found the charger. The battery is like apparently just busted. But it works on like AC power. We powered it up, and it is Windows XP. My mom was using it last because Chrome booted up, and it saved the tabs that were open.
That's hilarious.
And it was open to Facebook, and there were like Christmas posts, some kind of Christmas spice page, and a JCPenney shopping cart for like Christmas, and then like an ABC Family Christmas thing. So she had like last used it like during Christmas some year. So I guess it must have saved the tabs like in the RAM storage. Because it was completely dead and the battery had died. Like the battery no longer works; it won't hold a charge anymore. But yeah, it was like the sign in was under my little brother's name, and it had Minecraft on it. But yeah, it was just like the weird things that you remember.
Just growing up and then like randomly remembering them.
Yeah, and my mom was like, "I don't remember this at all. I cannot place this thing." And it was like, what, 10 years ago?
That's hilarious. Like, just thinking about that, like, where you say your mom just found it. Does everyone's family just does that? Like, they'll just have old electronics, and then you just hope that you still occasionally have the charger or anything with it?
Yeah, I guess so. Because, like, you think it'll be worth something still, or you have...
Most of the time, it won't.
Well, yeah, it never is. But the only reason to boot it up was because she wanted to, like, if there were pictures or documents, she wanted to get rid of them so we could just, like, you know, either throw it out or whatever with it. And literally the only thing was my brother had a vocabulary list in his documents, and Minecraft was basically the only things that were on the storage. But yeah. We have all kinds of... We have older computers than that around. But she... Like, this particular computer, like, she just couldn't place in the timeline.
Of remembering to have it.
Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, Dad had one of these, too. That's around somewhere." And she's like, "What?" And I was like, yeah. There was 2 of these. So...
Somewhere on top of a cabinet or something, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's around. We'll find it. it'll be it'll be around.
Mm.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, we have so much like old, well, like stuff that is like, I guess, valuable, or at least, you know, useful from a sentimental standpoint, is like the old
Mm-hmm.
gaming stuff. Um, because we still have the original Sega Genesis. Well, I guess it isn't our original Sega Genesis, but it's like an original Sega Genesis,
Mm-hmm.
and all the original cartridges and everything. Like I literally have a dresser that is nothing but Sega Genesis cartridges and boxes.
Nice.
Um, so yeah, and then we have an Atari 2600 somewhere. We actually don't know where that is. I think it's in my brother's closet, but that's around.
Mm-hmm. Did Adam ever play the Atari?
We I don't know if he did, but we definitely did, because it was set up in his room before he uh before he was born, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because his room used to be the computer room. Back whenever like you
Uh-huh.
had a dedicated room for a computer.
Mm-hmm.
um but yeah, it was funny. We actually had like two computers set up in there. So like we had like our parents' computer, like the desktop, and then our computer, like on a different, like it was the same desk, but like the desk was like big enough where it like looped around, or maybe it was just two tables, but I don't know. As a kid, it seemed like it was just one big desk.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a chair, but we had to sit like on the corner of the bed, and then the monitor was like facing the bed, and like that's how we
Okay.
played on the computer. Um, and yeah, that was the computer room, because it was like it was also like a spare room, because so there was like a bed in there too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, like that was where the Atari was. Um, on like a really old. God, what TV was that? That TV might have been black and white. It was like that old.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was gonna say the old box TVs that used to weigh a ton.
Yeah, it was huge. It was, yeah, it was like a cabinet TV.
And the crate, I swear those box TVs last longer than these flat screen TVs.
A lot of them do. Yeah, we
Like
had
my
that
mom
for a
still
long
has
time.
like a real big, like, you know, the big box TVs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my mom has like one that's like, it's like a gray, like grayish silver, and I swear this thing is older than like two of my siblings.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, this TV is going strong. And there was like a couple times where like, oh no, the TV's messing up. But then it was like, no, I'm okay, and it went back to normal, and, and it's still functioning and everything.
Do you remember just like smacking the TV
That was the
to get
functional way to fix a TV.
to get it to
Smack it.
work, and it like actually did shit?
Yeah, it's like, get back to work, and you just hit it. You can't do that with a new TV. You're gonna break that.
No.
It's gonna be broken for good.
It it actually did shit. It like smacking the damn thing got it to
No,
work.
trust me. I had like in my when I who my mom still. It's like I had a big I had a box TV before I replaced it with a flat screen. It's like, and it used to annoy me because randomly it would just out of nowhere the screen would just go black.
Yeah.
And the only way to fix it was to smack the shit out of that TV.
Yeah, I don't know the technical reasons or what, like but yeah.
It got everything working again. And you understand, I used to beat the crap out of this TV. I would
Oh
like
yeah.
give it combos.
Oh
And
yeah.
like to get it to finally start working again.
I remember like I would have to be careful at night because I'd be watching TV too late, and like something would happen, and like I would have to like lightly like, okay, come on.
Oh yeah,
come on,
I've been there.
Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy.
Because
Like,
you don't want to wake everyone up from you beating up a TV, but you're like, hey, I'm using you right now.
come on, I got like 2 more hours before Nick at Night's on. Like,
Technology has come a long way.
yeah. And also, do you remember like magnet? You could not have magnets anywhere near the TV,
Yeah,
or you
I
were
remember
gonna
that.
get killed. You were gonna be murdered by your parents
Mm-hmm.
because you were gonna destroy the TV irreparably. And all of our toys had magnets in them.
Is
For
that a
whatever
thing
reason.
now? Can TVs handle magnets now?
I think they're yeah, I think it's fine. Because like think about all the like like tablet screen protectors that close with magnets and like
Mm-hmm.
they're all LED
True.
screens. So I don't like no there's no like big warnings about magnets
Mm-hmm.
anymore like there used to be. Like my laptop closes sort of magnetically.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know what the big
What it was back in the day.
but that would
Where a
yeah.
magnet like just destroyed your TV if it got too close.
Yeah. And that was all our toys were.
Just a bunch of magnets.
We're like yeah, like connecty things with magnets
Uh-huh.
and
Connects.
yeah. Man. But yeah, we got so much old shit. There's like
I think
such
we're
a
the last
timeline.
generation that's gonna have like toys and stuff like where it went to technology. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my little sister, she was born in a technology like era, like where they have baller toys, but it's just like no more technology based.
Mm-hmm.
Like where they're more on tablets and phones and all that type of stuff than like playing with toys. Like we were literally the last generation to really have like toys and not really have technology. We grew up with technology, but we didn't have it when we were like kids. Like we might have had like old school computers and stuff, but that's pretty much it. Like cell phones were still kind of a new thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like we were like my parents were super early adopters of the internet and things. Like they had like an Apple II and like super early stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were on Usenet shit and early like pre AOL and then eventually AOL and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So they were like I like developed with the internet but like still had, like
Mm-hmm.
typical 90s, you know.
Yeah, early 2000s.
Yeah. But yeah, it's weird now. Cuz like there's a 10-year gap between me and my brother. And it's bizarre because he is like this postmodern kid where since he didn't experience that same stuff and like doesn't well now he's old enough where he'll like ask me questions about like what it was like to be to like grow up like that because he doesn't understand it, but at the same time like he would also whenever he was younger and still does now he would want to play with all the old stuff, like especially the old game systems, like where he would rather play with the Game Boy Color, even though those same games could be played on
Nintendo DS.
yeah, he would rather play it on the original thing. In fact, I think now that since everything's going on, he has like slightly more free time. He's currently using my old Game Boy Color to play one of the Pokemon games. Well, actually, this is before things went to shit because he had another friend that also had the game and he had a link cable or whatever, so they were actually going to physically trade Pokemon like you used to be able to.
Dude, yeah, people don't understand the struggle of Pokemon. You had to have friends to be able to trade. And you had to hope that your friends had a link cable or you just weren't trading Pokemon and you just got stuck.
Yeah. So here's so did you have like a Game Boy or Game Boy Color like the original?
I had the Game Boy I had the Game Boy Color because I had a purple one, and I also had a Game Boy Advance.
Okay, yeah, okay. So, did you have the purple, or did you have the see-through purple?
The see-through purple.
Okay, so did I. I had the see-through purple.
Nice.
So, the Game Boy Color was so old that it had... See, this is... Well, now we're just, like, two old men just, like, preaching to...
Remember those days?
Yeah, like... But the Game Boy Color was so old that it had no backlight. And so you had to buy an accessory that was a tiny little lamp.
I remember that.
That plugged into the top and shined a light onto the screen so you could play whenever it was slightly dark.
Yeah, that used to be the struggle to try and sneak and play games as a kid in the
Yeah.
middle of the night when you're supposed to go to bed.
And
Because
if you
the
didn't
Game
have that,
Boy
if
did
you
not
didn't
have it didn't have a flashlight or nothing.
yeah,
Or
if you didn't
glowing
have
black
that, you would need to
screen.
go find a flashlight. You would literally need a flashlight.
Now when the DS came, no, it wasn't. No, it was before the DS. What's the one that's
No.
after the Game Boy Advance?
The Game Boy Advance SP with the clamshell.
You're right. Yeah, the Game Boy SP. Like that's when it started giving you the light, and you're like, whoa. The
Yes,
screen glows.
that's what we had. We didn't have the Advance. We went from Game Boy Color to the SP, and that was, oh my god, that was the best thing in the world.
Lifesaver.
That was the absolute best design.
Yeah, because I've always been like big into Nintendo products. I've like had all of them. Like whenever they drop something new, all right, my family got it.
Yeah.
And it's just like I think I like the Game Boy Advance just because of the grip and the shape of it.
Yeah,
But
see,
like,
I
the
wanted
Game Boy,
yeah.
it didn't have a backlight. It didn't have a backlight. You were just screwed.
Yep.
And it needed batteries. Like you couldn't charge it.
Yeah, we were about to get the Advance, and then we found out that the SP was coming.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Decided to
oh,
wait.
yeah. Yep.
The funny thing is, I think I still have my Game Boy Advance.
I mean, yeah, we have everything.
I'm like, but I'm like, dang, it's like, but you know what? I wonder if it's at that point, if it's too old. Like, you ever have an old thing that was like technology wise, it's so old that the coils get rusted, or like that crusty stuff just starts building up, like
The corrosion.
up around corrosion around the coils. And it's just like, oh damn it, and it's like, nope, you're beat.
I mean,
You're not using
yeah,
it no more.
but you'd be surprised, because, like,
It just still works.
yeah.
See,
Yeah.
my problem is, for some reason, I don't know what it was, I always lost the back of the battery packs for my Game Boy and Game Boy Advance.
Oh.
I don't know why I was that person. It's just like it always went missing, and I never knew what happened to them. I'm just like, well, I got to hold the batteries in myself and just hope that I don't shake it out.
Yeah, see, so the SP was also the first, like, rechargeable one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so the battery was, like, screwed in. But yeah. So yeah, like we tried to keep good care of our stuff.
Uh-huh.
Like we probably had more cases for things than we had actual systems.
Actual systems.
Yeah.
Then the DS came around. I've had like almost every version of the DS as well.
Mm.
The old blocky one, then the more smooth ones, then they had the giant ones.
Yeah. See, when the DS came around, that's what everybody was like going for, like at school and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was stupid. I thought
Really?
it was dumb. Yeah, I thought like, why do you need? What's the point of two screens? I didn't get it.
The DS was cool, dude. You could touch the bottom screen.
I didn't get it. I was like, what? Why do you need that? And then I saw the PSP, and I was like, oh my god, that's the
You fell in
coolest
love.
thing I've ever
See,
seen.
I was the opposite. Did not care for the PSP. I just gave it to my little brother. I'm like, here, you can have this. I'm cool with the DS.
I needed the PSP so bad. Oh my god. And it was
But
so
you know what?
cool. It had these discs that were in a cartridge. It was so cool. It felt so high tech. Oh my god, I loved my PSP.
Do they even still make PSPs or anything like it?
They made the Vita after that, and the Vita was really good, but the marketing was awful.
So they
Um,
messed up.
yeah. So their handheld line's done.
See, I guess it was like the area I seen more people own DSs than PSPs.
Yeah.
But also, it's because like back when I was in high school, there was that's when the Pokemon Soul Silver and Heart Gold came out, and like, oh, you couldn't go anywhere into a classroom without seeing a couple people with their DSs out playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then that was also the Pokemon game that had the little tracker, like where it counted your steps.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember the day I lost my tracker. I had gone to go get pizza at Minio's with my family, and it fell out my pocket, and I was just like, wait a second. No! And I was mad because I had a legendary Giratina in there. And it's like, there's a way. I'll give Pokemon this. They were cool for this. There was a way to get your Pokemon from the Pokeball, but you just were just shit out of luck if you lost your Pokeball. So I did get my Pokemon back, but I was just like, Yep, that Pokeball is gone. Either someone found it and it was just a useless object in their possession, or it was just on the ground and just got crushed or something.
Man.
Feel like an old man today.
Yeah. But yeah, we had all the Nintendo handhelds. But we didn't, since we didn't grow up with the consoles or anything, we didn't touch Nintendo games at all. Like, we didn't play Mario games or anything. Like, whatsoever.
Dude, Mario games are the best. Especially if you had people to play with. Like, because I would play with my siblings, but it always, like, first hour was good. We'd get shit done. But then one of them would piss the other person off. And then in Mario games, you could pick each other up and then just throw each other off a cliff, and that's what they do. So then I'd get annoyed. I'm like, stop fighting. And they're like, no. And then like, blah, 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 made me mad. And then they'd grab each other. And like, if they grab them, you can't make them not grab you. They only throw, like, once they throw you, that's the only time you get off. Like, you're able to get free. And it's like, and they would just run with the other person and just throw them off a cliff. Or they steal their power up. And I'm like, no, stop fighting. I'm trying to get this level done. I'm like, all right, I guess this is just the end of it for today. Because, like, there was no fixing the anger towards each other at that moment. And there was times, I'll admit, there was times I got annoyed. You're like, you know what? I'm killing us all.
But yeah, we didn't, like, because since we didn't have Super Nintendo, we didn't grow up with Mario or anything. So, like, we didn't play those games.
Did you have a 64?
No, we didn't have any of that stuff.
GameCube.
So we went from, we went from Sega Genesis to PlayStation.
Dude, a GameCube was like probably one of the best systems ever made.
No, we went straight from Sega Genesis to PlayStation, and so for the Nintendo handhelds, we played Sonic games.
God.
On Nintendo.
The rival.
Yeah. And you know what? They were good on the Nintendo. Like, those are really good Sonic games on what's it called? Game Boy Advance and the DS. There were really good Sonic games on there.
Did you ever have a Wii?
By that point, we had a Wii because, like, everybody did. We didn't really use it that much. Like, we played Wii Sports because that's what everybody did.
Dude, the Wii was such an underrated system. Everyone owned it, but not everyone played it, and it was just such a fun system if you found the right games.
Yeah, the reason why we got it was bizarre. So,
Really?
yeah, I guess we were kind of late to it. Our dad, like, sometimes he gets, like, a bug up in his ass about, like, wanting to do something. And so he was like, I want a game that's like shooting at the carnival. I want to do that. How can I do that? And we were like, well, I guess the Wii. And so we were trying to figure out, and so there was like that Wii Zapper thing.
He should have just bought an old Duck Hunt game.
I guess, but see, we weren't Nintendo, so we didn't know about Duck Hunt. So, and this was before, like, you know, SNES Classic or whatever. And so we got the Link's Crossbow Training edition of the Wii because that had a shooty game. So he could shoot, because he just wanted to shoot targets is what my dad wanted to do. So that was why we got the Wii. And so we basically played Wii Sports. Was what we did with the Wii.
Okay.
And then
Dude,
and then the Wii Sports Resort.
Dude, Just Dance, Cooking Mama, man. Smash Bros, obviously. Dude,
see, Tori loved Cooking Mama, but we didn't get the Wii version for whatever reason. Like, we just didn't didn't use the Wii. Yeah. She played those games on DS.
See, for a while, the Wii was the main system. We had the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3, but it was just like, I guess we more so used the Wii because, like, I grew up with 5 siblings, so it's like we just all played the Wii together because only 2 people at a time were able to play. I mean, we had 2 PlayStation 2s, but even only 2 people were able to play together.
Yeah.
And then when you have any games where you could have bought that attachment to add more people,
Oh
but
God,
we
I think
never
we
had
had
any games like that.
we had a janky third-party version, and it did not work.
Yeah, it was hit or miss. You had to buy the expensive one, or you bought the crappy one. And
Yeah.
it just didn't work.
We had so many
Did you
stupid peripherals.
Did you have a Wii U?
Uh,
Wii U was so hated by the community. I loved the Wii. I thought it was great, but I know so many people hated that system.
My brother desperately wanted a Wii U because he was huge into Nintendo. And he really wanted it for his birthday in 2016. And I kept saying, I said, no, this is stupid. They're coming out with a new system next year. They're going to port all the same games to it. I said that they're going to do, you don't need it. Just wait 1 year. 1 year is all I said. Like, please wait a year. Because you're going to get it anyway. Wait, because you're going to get all the same damn games.
Mm-hmm.
But no, my mom was like, no, I'll just get it for him. And so he got the Wii U.
Did he enjoy it at least?
He did, yeah, because he was big into Smash and everything else. So, and then of course, because he's the spoiled last child, he also got a Switch the next year. So
the funny thing is that's why you had to get every Nintendo product though, if you want to play Super Smash, like the newest Super Smash, because it always came out with the new systems.
Yeah.
So I kind of get that. You know what I mean? It's like because GameCube had its own Smash, Wii had its own Smash, Wii U kind of just had the Wii Smash, but it was just updated and just added more since it was just a newer system, and then the Switch got its own as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but Wii U almost screwed Nintendo over because a lot of people did not like it.
They ported all those games.
Oh yeah, I know.
All the Wii U games. Like almost like some of them were like immediate, like the Mario Kart, you know, and like.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, see, I told you.
But I mean, I guess you needed the Wii U to get to the Switch. You know what I mean? Because it's like the Wii U is technically just a fusion of a Wii and kind of a Switch. You just can't get that far away from the system.
Yeah, but it also needed to fail for you to get the Switch.
Yeah. And, oh my god, dude. I remember with a Wii U commercial. It made it seem like, oh, I can go to another room with this screen. No, you literally couldn't go more than like a few inches away from the system before it was like, I can't pick up, like where it couldn't pick it up from the system, like the Wii U screen. I'm like, this is lame.
Yeah, remote play with Vita was a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole branding was confusing. Nobody knew what the hell it was.
Mm-hmm.
Was it an attachment? Was it just a controller? Was it to the Wii, or was it a? Nobody knew it was a new thing. The name was so dumb.
Yeah, Wii U.
Literally, Wii 2 would have been better than Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I remember going over a friend's house, like, and he had one, but all we used it for was Super Smash Brothers. And no one used a tablet to play. We just used GameCube controllers.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's right, Nintendo.
It wasn't even like
wrong.
Yeah, that tablet thing wasn't even like made well. It was like, yeah. No.
I have no idea what they're gonna do after this. Like after the Switch. Like, how do you really improve upon that?
I mean, ideally, they just improve on like the hardware itself. Just make it more powerful.
I think the Switch Lite's goofy. Like, you know what I mean? You just downgraded a Switch. Because at least a Switch you can connect to your TV.
Yeah, but for a lot of people, it makes sense.
I mean, yeah, I get that. I mean, there's the battery life, I assume, is a lot longer, correct?
Yeah, but it also on the new Switch is also better. So.
I mean, yeah. What's the difference between that one, like the new one, and the original Switch? Like, besides, like, I guess longer battery life and not being able to connect to the TV.
Well, so Nintendo does stupid stuff like this. So there's two different models of the regular Switch, like the one me and you have.
Mm-hmm.
well, because I'm not sure which one you have, but there was like the one that originally came out in 2017, and then there's one that came out last summer, which is the one I have that I got
I think I had that one because I
this
got
holiday.
mine last year as well.
Yeah, so then we probably have the same one. So the newer one, which is it's literally looks exactly the same, except just the box that it comes in looks different. It's like model 1002 or whatever. It has a better processor, and I think there's something else with the internal, something with the motherboard. But anyway, it just like it doubles the battery life basically.
Okay.
But yeah. But the light also like it uses that same internal, so it has a better battery life. Other than that,
I just don't get the point of not allowing it to connect to your TV.
I think it is dumb that they don't allow it to do that with, without like not allowing it to do that with an adapter.
Especially since that's what made the Switch so amazing. You can take it anywhere and like, you know what? I'm home. You know what? I want to continue playing this game. You just throw it on the TV real quick.
Yeah. But
that's why the Switch did so well.
Yeah, but it does make sense for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like my mom, for instance, who got it for Animal Crossing. Like she doesn't need to connect it to the TV ever.
Mm-hmm.
So
it just looks so much better on the TV, though. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Like, cause like don't get me wrong, I love playing Pokemon on the Switch, but connecting it to the TV and finally seeing it on a big screen is beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm completely with you. I wouldn't want a light because I like the versatility of it. But
yeah. So it makes me wonder what they're gonna do after the light.
Yeah,
or is the Switch technically the new DS since they stopped making DS product games?
I think it is.
It's like, you know what? We're going to combine our system with the DS, and this is what we have now.
Yeah, I think it is. There were rumors of like the Pro Switch with a better GPU, but because that's what I was holding out for originally.
Okay.
But then whenever the rumors were that they were going to release the new Switch with the better battery life, you know, which was going to be the Switch Lite. And then also alongside that, release the Switch Pro with the better GPU that could maybe do 4K resolution. So that's what I was waiting for. And when that didn't happen, I was just like, fine, I'll get this one with the better battery life. So yeah, they could still do, like, I guess almost like a PS4 Pro situation down the line. But we'll see, because they did something similar with the 3DS.
No, okay.
They did it.
True.
Their naming convention is so bad.
Oh god, they've had so many different versions of the 3DS, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which was the one with the better processor that can only play certain games? The 3DS XL?
I think so. The one that's slightly bigger than the others.
The one that had the little nubbin. I don't know. Anyway, but that version had a better processor. And it could only play certain games, or it could play certain games that couldn't be on the older 3DS models. Like I think one of the Monster Hunter games couldn't be played on older.
No, because I remember that because the cartridges weren't black anymore. They turned them like gray.
Yeah.
And I thought I was lame because I tried playing an old 3DS game and I'm like, what? So then I had to go look for the old one so I can play that game.
Yeah, because I was also late to the 3DS party, which is what I was gonna do with the Switch, but then I just was like, screw it. Because I didn't get a 3DS until 2017.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because by then I had a million RPGs to play. And the only thing that finally got me to do it was Persona Q.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also had like all the SMT games to play on 3DS. So
I think I've had every version of the 3DS except for like maybe one or two.
yeah, well, what did it for me was that they released the 2DS XL.
Oh yeah, that's the one that's more like it kind of looks like a Game Boy Advance a little bit.
That's the
Like
2DS.
it doesn't flip. Yeah, the 2DS, like it doesn't flip. Yeah, like man, I bought that for my sister. She played it for like 2 months and then was over it.
That's what we got my brother. He played the shit out of it. But I got the 2DS XL, which is still has the clamshell design, but it doesn't have the dumb 3D effect. Because I didn't need that, and so it was also cheaper.
Yeah.
But it still had the better processor.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, perfect. So that's what I finally got, and it was like their last version of the DS, 3DS, whatever it is.
R.I.P. Nintendo DS. You were great for the time you were around.
And their stupid naming.
Mm-hmm. All right. We kind of rambled for quite some time.
Yeah. Who needs notes?
Yeah. Right. We just think of one. We'll have one topic and then we'll just see where that takes us.
Yeah.
Because at first we were talking about murder hornets and now we're talking about Nintendo products.
I mean, hey. That's what the show is, I guess. You know, what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know where we should...
I mean, we could talk about the Netflix stuff real quick.
Yeah. We should do that.
Stranger Things. Are you a fan of Stranger Things?
So I am not at all.
Dude, it's so good, though.
I actually actively don't like the show.
What don't you like about it? This season's going to be scarier than any other season. This season's apparently going to be horror-based.
Okay.
More horror-based. So I'm excited for that.
This is where people turn on me. Well, people already have probably turned on me with all my other rants, but Stranger Things. I stopped watching season 1.
Oh, you stopped at season 1? Season 1 was so good.
Okay,
That's the season that got everyone's heart.
Hold on. It gets worse. I stopped watching season 1 in the episode before the final episode.
Dude, why?
I just didn't give a shit. It was aggressively fine. It was just, I was like, okay, I get it. It was okay. And here's the problem. I really like Winona Ryder, like a lot.
Uh-huh.
And it was just, she was, all they had her do was just like screaming the whole time.
I'll say this. Watch the next few seasons. I promise you. She gets so much better as a character. Because that was just her first season. The first season, she's a nutcase because her son goes missing.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's reasonable. Like, who's not going to act like a nutcase during that? The second and third season, she's a lot more calm. Because she at least knows where her son is. Stuff's still going down. But she's a lot more calm. I'll say this. Third season's probably, honestly, my favorite. But it's just because they have the characters defined at this point. They're bringing in some new characters. It's colorful. It looks very nice. The creature in it's interesting. And it's just like you're seeing the relationships between the people in the show. Then I'd rank it probably first season, just because the first season was just good. And then second season's probably like bottom of the barrel.
Okay. Here's the other problem. I am like, how do I put this? Philosophically opposed to the show.
Why?
Okay. I have
Do you
such
hate psychic girls?
no. No. No, even though they ripped off the plot of Elf and Lied, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not. n- Uh, I could.
Look, Matilda is the OG psychic girl. So,
No. They literally admitted that they ripped off the plot of Elf and Lied, but I'm not going to get into
isn't
that.
that an anime?
Yeah, it's an anime.
The anime, the girl with the blonde, I mean the pink hair.
Yeah,
Dude, I know which anime you're talking about because it freaked me out episode 1. I was like, nope, not watching
yeah,
this.
it should. It's supposed to freak you out. It's good. It's really good. Oh,
It's too much for me.
it's really good. But anyway, they admitted that they ripped it off, and so that's one thing. Anyway, people should watch Elf and Lied. It's really good. It's like on Hulu and shit, probably. I have a huge distaste for all things 80s nostalgia and its never-ending parade of self-referential bullshit. I'm sick of it.
Why do you hate the 80s?
Because I have no attachment to it.
So if Stranger Things was the 90s, it'd be more enjoyable.
Maybe. Because I would at least have that common something. But the 80s is the decade that never friggin' ends. Because it's just constant. Do you remember Ghostbusters? Do you remember Star Wars? Do you remember this? Boom, 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 boom. Over and over and over and over and over again. It is like this Ouroboros of self-referential patting ourselves on the back. And not only is it just like the references itself, they have structured the show to mirror the structure of 80s movies and, shows and cartoons and whatever else. And that stuff is not very good. There's a reason it's stuck in the 80s. So it's just it's nostalgia for nostalgia's sake. There's a reason why we've moved past these tropes. And so to just like keep going back to that I think it's boring and I think it's lazy.
Okay. They kind of killed that off in the later seasons.
I would hope so because
I'm telling you, just give it a watch, man. I promise you it gets better. Just chug through second season. You'll like the third season. Third season was very action-packed. But I get that. Do you think it's going to be like that when we're older? Like whenever people who were born in the 90s have the power and like Hollywood and all that. You're like, you know what? 90s nostalgia. You know what I mean?
It was supposed to have happened already. But here's the problem. Here's the problem is that anytime there is some kind of 90s nostalgia thing, people shit on it immediately.
It's because
they say,
this is the reason why.
This is just nostalgia bait. This is just. But meanwhile, we can just keep saying, "Remember Star Wars?"
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like we're gonna have to wait a while because like think about it. The people who are falling in love with the 70s and 80s nostalgia, it's because they're the ones who are like, they're the main adults. Like you get what I'm saying.
People born in 1990 are what, 10?
They're 30.
They're
like
30?
about 30 right now. Yeah, so I still consider that young. You know what I mean? Like 30 still young in that business field where it's just like the people like, yeah, we're spending money, people our age and all that type of stuff. But the main ones critiquing and all that are the older people who are like, that's why they're the ones. I love 80s, but you know what? 90s, you could clearly tell this is just trying to get people to watch it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Whenever it's our age group, when we're a little bit older and we're the ones who have like, okay, we're just going to throw this, it'll be more intriguing to see more 90s nostalgia. Because remember VH1, they never really played, like, they would occasionally play 80s nostalgia, but they normally went further back.
No. It's in the early 2000s, it was nothing but I Love the 80s. Do you remember that shit?
Yes, it was annoying as hell.
Yeah.
Did not care for it.
Yeah, it was so dumb. Constantly. It's like, dude, that was just...
VH1 used to be a good channel.
That shit just happened. And it's just nothing but a constant parade and Ready Player One self-referential nonsense. It's like it's not even using the material for anything. It's just literally, do you remember this? Look, we dressed up the kids as the Ghostbusters. You remember this, don't you?
I don't even think Ghostbusters was that good, to be honest.
It was
That might
just
give
a
me some
it was
hate,
just a
but I
thing.
didn't care for it.
It was a movie, and it's treated like on this pedestal.
When do you think Harry Potter is going to get like that?
I don't know. I'm deep in the camp. Deep in the read another book camp.
Uh,
I'm deep into that. So
I mean, yeah, I think then also Twilight, especially with her making a new book, is probably going to hype it up a bit more too.
uh well, apparently the deal with that was that it was already released like on the internet, like it leaked to the internet like 8 years ago.
Uh huh.
So it's now just getting like an official book release. I don't think the Twilight was a fad, you know, in in the way that like the 80s nostalgia is such a like that's an entire generation of people where
Boomers.
Twilight was more of like a flash in the pan thing.
Goddamn boomers trying to force the '80s on us.
It because like we just got out of like another I don't know what 5 years of Star Wars bullshit where instead of doing something new with those movies, they all
Tie it all together.
they remade the first one. Then two, they decided to try to do something different and made an incoherent mess. And then
Rogue One.
three made it then a movie that just says, "Do you remember the original movies again? Do you remember them? Here, this is a movie where we're going to keep referencing the original movies again. We hope you remember Star Wars because this is a
I
Star
think
Wars
they shit
movie."
the bed when they put Rey with Kylo. No. Why is she hooking up with Kylo and he was the antagonist and was a bad guy? No, don't make... Everyone wanted Finn and Rey. But no, they're like, you know what? Nah, we're just going to throw... Even though they also hinted that Finn was a possible Jedi, and they did nothing with that.
Yeah, they did him dirty.
They messed it up. They had such potential with them. Like I thought the first movie was pretty good.
Yeah,
thought the first movie was pretty good.
even though it was a rehash of A New Hope, it was okay. It had potential.
It had potential, but then they just like completely shat the bed, and they're like, no, make Kylo Ren an enjoyable Sith.
They
Like,
got close in the second one. They got so friggin' close, but they didn't follow through.
no one wants to see Kylo and Rey get together. That was terrible to me.
Their their biggest problem was that they decided to make a trilogy and didn't write the trilogy ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
They decided to make them one at a time and listen to fan criticism in between. And so what you have is an incoherent mess. Like the prequels, for as bad and
You know, I must be one of those only people. I enjoy the prequels. I am one of those weirdos.
I liked
genuinely
them as a
enjoy-
kid. Looking back, I think they were poorly made, but at least
There's something memorable about them, though.
right. They at least
You know what I mean?
have a certain style to them, and they at least thematically connect to each other and are consistent.
Here's the thing with me. The prequels, if you wanted me to, I can give you a description of how the movies went right now. Like, honestly, like, I remember characters. I kind of remember how it started and how it ended. These new ones, and they're newer, I can't remember a darn thing. They're forgettable to me.
Yeah, no, totally. The new ones, it was A New Hope, and then Skywalker's there. They go to the casino. That Emperor's not the Emperor.
Yeah, they messed it up with that. They could have done something cool with him, and they're just like, nope.
Yeah. The problem with the second movie, and I'm not one of those people that hates it because there were women in it.
Oh.
And I'm not one of those people that hates it because they ruined Luke Skywalker's character, which they didn't do. I'm one of those people that doesn't like it because one, it was a mess, plot wise, and it's like A to B. It doesn't make sense. And two, they had the idea of destroying parts of what makes Star Wars is such an exciting and fresh idea. But then by the end of it, they're just like, nah, just kidding. We're not going to really do that. Like, look, at the end, instead of having to blow up yet another Death Star, we put the Death Star parts on another snow planet because we have to have another snow planet. Oh, wait, it's not snow, it's salt. And no, it's like, yeah, like whenever Luke is ranting and raving about the Jedi Order should be dead because they aren't very good, he's right. They haven't been very good. They haven't done much of anything. There were good ideas, and then they don't follow through on them. They just make another bland Star Wars movie with the exact same beats, but the beats don't mesh with the rest of what came before, and then they go to a weird casino planet for 45 minutes for no reason.
They should have asked the guys who made the Clone Wars saga on Cartoon Network to make those movies. Because the Clone Wars saga was great.
Yeah, I heard people really like that. I didn't.
Oh yeah, they brought Darth Maul back. They explained the Mandalorians a lot better. Darth Maul had a brother. Because Darth Maul, I guess he is one of the more popular Sith Lords out of all of them. Just because of his look and his double lightsaber.
Right.
They explain lightsabers a bit more. Like there's even Mandalorians, they had their own lightsaber. They had a black lightsaber. That meant something.
Oh yeah, wasn't it the dark saber or whatever?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like they explain the difference. Like in the Clone War series, they explain like the Force and all that. They explain why there's a dark side and all that. And it's like, and it's cool. Like the Clone Wars was great. Shouldn't have canceled it. I mean, they brought it back, but they just had no reason to even cancel it. They should have asked those people, like, yo, can you help us make these movies so they're enjoyable? But no.
Yeah.
Disney got too greedy. But I guess we got Baby Yoda now, right?
Yay.
Using a bit. And that's such a cop-out because it's such an easy way to get people to like something.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much.
I hate that trope. I hate we're going to throw a baby in there and everyone loves babies. Like, yeah. No, I hate Baby Yoda.
Ask anybody to explain why they like the Baby Yoda. They can't do it.
It's not even cute.
They can't. They can't do it. What does the Baby Yoda do? It's friggin' there. That's it.
He's using the Force to trick all these gullible people into liking this show.
Oh, God.
That's all it's doing.
Did you see the Han Solo movie?
No, I refuse to. Like I said, I gave up after seeing Rogue One. I'm like, I'm not watching these.
I didn't see that one. I saw the Han Solo movie. Oh my God.
I heard it was terrible.
It was
Childish
so
Gambino
bad.
couldn't save it.
Do you know why he's named Han Solo?
No.
Because he shows up to the booth to become a pilot, and the guy asks him, So who are your people? And he's like, I'm alone. And the guy's like, okay, so you're Han Solo.
I could have gone throughout life without knowing.
Can you believe that shit?
It'd been okay.
I gotta carry that with me. That they felt the need to explain his last name
that is so stupid.
In the stupidest way possible. That's who asked? Who asked how he got his name? It's his name.
Was he with Chewbacca at this point?
Yeah, Chewbacca. It shows how he became friends with him. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not interesting.
Was it at least cool?
Chewbacca's fine. It's not like. I guess he kind of frees him from imprisonment.
I guess. Okay, I was curious because I do remember in the prequels. Remember they did introduce Chewbacca in the prequels before he was with Han Solo. Chewbacca's kind of old.
Yeah, he's like 1,000 years or whatever.
Yeah, because he helped Yoda whenever like they ordered the order to take out all the Jedi. It's like Chewbacca was one of them, the Wookiees that helped Yoda escape. I remember. And I was curious how they're going to tie him in with Han Solo, but it was like boring, apparently.
Yeah, they were both captured. Like Chewbacca was like a slave to somebody or something, and then they
Mm.
like both break out, and it was like a buddy cop thing. It was dumb.
Uh-huh.
And he can like understand him immediately. I don't know. Yeah, it was not a good movie. And then Darth Maul shows
Yeah.
up at the end.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, yeah.
They probably only did that because they knew they would get a
They
reaction from people.
they wanted a sequel so bad. They wanted something. It didn't make any sense. It really
Yeah,
didn't.
what was the point of introducing Darth Maul at the end of that?
He literally is a hologram. He shows up and talks to somebody.
It would have made more sense to have him appear in the Obi-Wan Kenobi like movie or series.
Yeah. But I think that was like already canceled by the time the reshoots happened.
Mm-hmm.
It made no sense.
See, at least in the Clone Wars, when they brought Darth Maul back, they gave him his own story, like building up, like getting his legs, getting new legs and everything.
Yeah, because dude
Him
got cut in
taking over the
half.
Yeah, he ended up having like a freaking spider body for a little while.
Damn.
But he went feral because his brother was looking for him. His brother found him. Darth Maul was feral. He fixed him and reminded him who he was. There was like an order of like witches, and like that's what I'm saying. The Clone Wars series, if you're a Star Wars fan, go check it out because it gives lore to like things you didn't know about other races and all that type of stuff, and it explains Darth Maul's like where his people came from. But it's like, then they have him take over the Mandalorian planet, and eventually he gets kidnapped by the Sith Lord. Like,
Yeah.
but then it does nothing after that. And then apparently on the Disney Channel one, him and Darth Vader fought. I'm not really sure.
Huh.
Which is that's a pretty cool fight. I feel like people would like to see Darth Maul versus Darth Vader.
Yeah, it seems very fan servicey.
But I'm like, the movie's just shit the bed.
Yeah.
Too much. Goddamn George Lucas getting hungry for money, selling out to Disney.
Yeah. But yeah, because
But I guess that's like with all the movies though, because like think of Jurassic Park now, like where it's at. But you know what? Jurassic Park is at a point where it has a crazy chance to make something amazing with Jurassic World.
didn't that come out?
Yeah, but I mean like the third one, because like they had the first three Jurassic Parks. First one was cool. I liked the second one as a kid because T-Rex was in the city. Third one was meh because it was a Spinosaurus instead of a T-Rex. And Jurassic World was cool with Chris Pratt. The second Jurassic World was pretty lackluster because it's like, oh, we gotta go save these dinosaurs from a dying island. Oh no, we're being tricked by rich guys just so we can sell all these dinosaurs to corrupt people across the world. Oh no, the dinosaurs escaped. They're all over the world now.
Who could have seen that?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, even though the second one was meh, they have so much potential because it's like, if you want to, you could just have it as the dinosaurs kind of like took over again as the main species for the third one and just have a dystopia where it's like, oh, dinosaurs are back and it's like kind of a apocalyptic era for humans.
Yeah.
Because we brought dinosaurs back, and it's not like with animals, like you can't just shoot dinosaurs. They're a lot bigger. They can take a lot more damage.
Yeah.
So I hope that Jurassic World and all that does not shit the bed like Star Wars.
Is the third one? Is that like soon or?
I think so, because they did release like NBC released like a little 15-minute short where this family was just out in the woods. Like there was a bunch of families like camping and stuff, and then a dinosaur attacked, and then almost ate the family. But then there were some triceratops that fought the dinosaur away, and it was, to be honest, it was a well received little short to what they plan on releasing, and I'm just like, yeah, how are you gonna make this all fit together well?
Right.
But it does at least seem good at the moment.
So last week we released the first episode of DeadEndRoad's Creature Feature. If you missed it, talk about all things Mothman. It was a lot of fun. So please check that out. It's available on this podcast feed and also on the YouTube channel if you skipped over it or didn't know what the hell it was.
Trust us. Watch it. It is... it's personally my favorite one we've done.
It's a lot of fun. It really is. Had a lot of fun recording it. There are preliminary plans to restart It Doesn't Add Up. Been in talks with Tori to find some time for that. So they're concrete, but nothing, I'm trying to not... How can I phrase it? I'm not trying to like put too much pressure because she's got a lot going on, but yeah, we're working through it, and we're just gonna try to find enough time to
try and get those episodes out there.
Yeah, exactly. In between everything else, so stay tuned for that. That will be forthcoming. So yeah, between the technical difficulties of the last episode and increasing the release schedule, doing a podcast every week, video timeline is pushed back a little bit, but I'm improving the workflow on that, and I have a monitor coming tomorrow, which will help me out a whole lot. So also stay tuned. I know that I keep like teasing that shit, but it is happening. Next week should be another creature feature all about the Jersey Devil. So that'll be about a lot of fun too. So yeah, please look forward to that. And if you have other suggestions for cryptids, creatures, things of that nature, please throw us at.
Just let us know.
Throw them at us. Because that'll help us out, make our lives slightly easier, so we don't have to decide on things ourselves. And by the time this episode is live, I will have probably streamed a couple times. So if you missed those, check the archives.
Do we figure out what platform we would prefer to use?
I'm gonna try YouTube. I'm gonna see how that works. I might try Facebook as well, just to see.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll go from there, because I haven't gotten to stream just yet, as of recording.
Gotcha.
But yeah, because I have a monitor coming in, so that'll make it easier for me to view all the stream stuff going on and have the PC game going at the same time. So yeah, my workflow will be improving as the days unfold. Because doing everything from one laptop was just a nightmare when I tried to do a test stream. Yeah. So when the streams go live, like no matter where I end up doing test streams or whatever, the archives will go on the YouTube channel. So if you miss them, check them out there. youtube.com/DeadEndRoad. I think that's everything. As always, you can hit us up on the Facebook. It's facebook.com/DeadEndRoadTV, I think, or at DeadEndRoadTV on Facebook. You could also find me at DeadEndRoad on Twitter. And the email is video@deadendroad.co if you have anything you want to throw at us. So yeah, lots in the pipeline. I'm also working on some articles and things that'll go up on the website. Like a big Persona one that's like, oh my god, I have like so much research for it. I have like 3 pages written already, and that's just like, ugh, I don't even want to get into it. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot coming. I have too many things that I'm like trying to get finished.
Yeah, trust me, I get it. It's like there's a lot of things going on. You're like, let me touch this, and it's like, oh wait, what about this? And it it landslides.
Yeah, I'm like scheduling my day where it's like, okay, I'll work on this. Okay, fine. Then I'll have to switch to this. Okay, fine. Yeah, I'm like trying to improve the workflow of what I'm doing, because normally what I would be doing is like, okay, I'm writing this thing, and then I boom start to finish. But like with so many plates spinning, I have to like divert attention. But yeah, anyway, nobody cares about that. But there's a bunch of stuff coming in the coming weeks, so there will be so next week, Jersey Devil show, streams, and then after that, another Dead End Road show, and then near future, Doesn't That Up, videos coming. Yeah, lots of good stuff.
Make sure to tune in.
Yeah, I think that's everything. Do we have anything else to add?
Well, that's pretty much it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is a fun one, even if it went, you know, off the guide rails early. But yeah, no, it's good. That means we don't have to plan as heavily as I've been doing.
I know, it's like we always plan it out, and then it's just like, it just does not go the plan's route.
All right, well, yeah, thank you all for listening. You know where to find us. We will see you on the next one. Stay safe.